dance was done to welcome other tribes, people in the country to do ceremony.
Yulan country. Okay. And where does it extend to?
Goes from there right back up to Eden River near Nowra. Back around the terminal Bombala up in Snowy.
Okay.
Yeah, down to down past the border there. Yeah, so it's a big nation, and we've got these sub-clans and language.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thanks. What's your name?
Kyle.
Kyle. Can you tell us a bit about where we are, Kyle?
Eden.
So you still at school?
Yeah, but I dance more than I go to school.
Yeah?
Because I've been doing dance longer than what I've been starting school.
Sounds good. Were you doing that dance this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. What does it mean to you?
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah?
And I'm making myself famous.
Yes.
Doing something in my life. Creating something new every time.
We know a hell of a lot about those times and the Bundian Way through Oswald Briley, who really is the hero of the story. So on the Bundian Way story trail, we've named one of the platforms after him and the other one after Bundian. So we want to actually use that story to form a platform for some sort of reconciliation, at least in this part of the world. And to show that Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people actually got on, well, they could get on in those days. The Aboriginal people were used, well not used, but they were employed by Briley, who was running the Aboriginal the whaling industry for Ben Boyd. And they were fantastic whalers, and they actually had a relationship with the killer whale, which they used to round up the humpback whales when they came in. So without the skill of the Aboriginal people and their relationship with the killer whales, the whaling industry, the white man's whaling industry would not have happened. This song is called the Bundian Way song, and I wrote this about 2 years ago to tell a story, well, a very brief story of the Bundian Way, and it sort of involves the word way being a bit ambiguous, so it's not necessarily the trail but more the manner or the custom where the Aboriginal people held out their hand of friendship to the white settlers. Anyway, it's called the Bundian Way. When we came into this land in 1842, when we came into this land, we didn't have a clue. Then they showed us the water, they showed us the land, they showed us the trail, they took us by the hand, 'cause that's the Bundian way. Bundian Way, yeah, that's the Bundian Way. And when we came into this land, we didn't know what to eat. When we came into this land, it was just bare dirt beneath our feet. Then they showed the Bundian Way. There's many stories, but in a nutshell, the Bundian Way was used by Aboriginal people for thousands of years, probably tens of thousands of years, to travel from the sea at Twofold Bay right to the top of Mount Kosciuszko, which is the highest peak in Australia. The Aboriginal people called Kosciuszko Targangal, and they called Twofold Bay Tullamullera. And there's a particular spot in Twofold Bay called Bilgallera, where the people used to gather for ceremonies, trade and whaling. And it was all based around the whaling in summertime with to coincide with the whale migration. So they conducted great ceremonies when they were doing the whaling, and people would come from all over the country apparently. And then in summertime they would move up to the high country, right up to Mount Kosciuszko and the sort of surrounding mountains there to hunt and feast on bogon moths. And again, there was much ceremony and trade, and the bogon moths were a great source of protein and fat. And then in the wintertime they would feed on yams, which were sort of halfway between Twofold Bay and Mount Kosciuszko on the Monero. Now when Ben Boyd came in to Twofold Bay in 1842, he had great land holdings up on the Monero, but he didn't really know how to get there. And it was probably about 300 kilometres. Well, no, actually it would be less than that, maybe 200 kilometres. So he would have been faced by vast areas of mountains and basically wild country. So he came with a man called Briley, who was interested in Aboriginal people, and he documented them, and that's how we know a lot about what happened in those days in 1842 to 1846, I think it was, or 1848 when they left. So they're only here for a short period, but in that time, Oswald Briley made friendships with Aboriginal people, and one of them was called Budgenbro, who the white fellas called Toby. And Budgenbro showed Briley and Ben Boyd the Bundian Way, and that then enabled Boyd to get up to his holdings on the Monero and drive stock up and down the Bundian Way, which a lot of the other settlers did as well. And during those earlier days, they coincided with the Aboriginal people using the Bundian Way as they did for thousands of years. Briley was a very interesting character. He seemed to be a very intelligent man, and he built the Seahorse Inn, he built Boyd's Tower, he built a house at where Edram Lodge now stands. So he did a hell of a lot in that 6 years. Ben Boyd wasn't interested in Aboriginal people, and he just thought they were inadequate for his labour purposes. So he went to South Pacific and basically kidnapped slaves to work for him, and that was a complete farce because they'd come out to Twofold Bay, and then he'd walk them up to the Monera, and some of them were naked, they had no clothes on, and they escaped, they just wanted to go home. And so that was a complete stuff up. Eventually Ben Boyd, he wanted to create a big empire basically, and he went bankrupt, and Briley then lost interest in the whole thing, and he left in 1848, I think he left, somewhere around there. But he like I said, he sketched the Aboriginal people, he documented them, he documented their language, so we know a hell of a lot about those times and the Bundian Way through Oswald Briley, who really is the hero of the story. So
Bird then. So we've got bird Bundian. This is a Bundian bird. So this one here. He tells us what kind of weather we have. So we're watching.
NAIDOC is a big thing to them.
All right.
They really celebrate that. Well, this part of the world they do. Yeah, they celebrate their culture, and we have Koori kids camps where young Koori kids come from all over the district, come down to Jigamy Farm, they camp and they learn about the culture. That's what I was saying before. The Aboriginal people themselves have to be re-engaged in their own culture.
Yeah.
Well, they've got the kinship and they've got other bits and pieces, but they need to themselves re-establish their own cultural identity, and that's really important.
Yes.
Yeah. And like that kid you were talking to, Kyle, down there yesterday, he was proud. He was proud to be a dancer,
Yes.
And you don't hear many Aboriginal people say,
I don't know.
well, they're proud of their culture and their kinship and so forth, but for a little kid to say that, I'm a dancer and I'm proud of my culture, that's the sort of thing. That's what we need, because the future is in the hands of those kids, really. Yeah. And if we lose them, and with all these gadgets and everything else, the Aboriginal kids, they're just like all the white. They've all got their mobile phones and their little gadgets and all these distractions. So that makes it even harder to get to them and re-engage in their own culture and so forth. So we're trying to do all those things. The Bundian Way is a huge project. People just see it as being a walking track, but to me, it's that's the least of it, really. I mean, that's just the physical track on the ground, but it's the story and the significance of the story and the potential of the story to engage communication between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people in this country. So yeah, just to start that discourse is what we're sort of aiming for. and also to provide employment for Aboriginal people. Sustainable employment which is meaningful to them. Again, where they can be proud of their culture, and that white people want to see that. Well, the white fellas want to see them proud of their culture, and then that breaks down that barrier again. We didn't destroy them; they're not completely gone. They actually still got culture, and they're actually proud of it, and we can build on that. So, yeah, the Bundian Way it's a huge project, and that's why we need to do all these things. We need to get proper support from government. They give us jibs and drabs, and then you've got to fight for funding. Like that Aboriginal crew, we have to keep them engaged. Otherwise, they go back on the dole, go back to all the old habits, drug and alcohol abuse, and everything else that goes with unemployment. And especially in the Aboriginal community, it's probably even worse. And the ice epidemic and all that sort of stuff. So we have to keep them. We keep saying that to government, but the government goes, well, we can't provide funds to pay the wages of these people. So I don't know why not, because it's a very good investment. Like when you consider, if we don't start doing things like this, it's going to be a hell of a lot more costly to government in the future with all the drug and the violence and crime and everything else that goes with unemployment and disattachment with their culture, disillusionment, lack of purpose. You know what I mean? That's the key, I think, is purpose. Those guys, like Kyle, he's got a purpose for the rest of his life. He's going to be a dancer. He's going to be famous. And he's going to be proud. You know what I mean? It's a very small thing, but it's like you repeat that, with 100 kids, or all the kids in Eden, give them all an opportunity, then it's going to be a lot easier in the long run for government. Yeah. So that's, hopefully they will get that message eventually.
So, sorry, you got to boil the mussels in the pot?
Yeah.
Is that what you got to do? Can you tell me that again?
In the pot.
Right.
Then you wait for them to go open. Then when they open, they go orange. Then when they go orange, they cook.
Yeah.
Just the same as abs. You got to gut them.
What's abs?
Abalones.
Oh, yeah. What'd you do with them?
So you'd be swimming out there somewhere. So you'd be swimming out there for the abs, not that far out.
Really?
Yeah.
It's all just out there. And how do you cook them again?
The abalones, you got to scrape them on the cement.
Yeah.
Until it takes all the black stuff around it. Then you got to gut it, so you got to cut the guts out, and then you got to reef the whole ab out. Then you got to put it in flour, any flour. Then you just put it in a pan. Then it's fried.
Must be delicious.
Yeah.
Very fresh, eh?
With a bit of garlic herbs.
Yeah. Do you do that? Do you do it by yourself, do you?
Yeah.
Wow, they're pretty clever. Sounds good to me.
There's many more stories, and there's lots more tracks too. There's a whole network of trails. The Bundian Way just happens to be the one that leads from the sea to the highest mountain in Australia, which makes it very significant. But yeah, apparently Aboriginal people came from all over the continent to take part in these ceremonies and whale feasts and bogong moth feasts. So it's a pretty amazing story.
That's the Bundian Way, the Bundian Way, that's the Bundian Way. That's the Bundian Way.